welcome back to another episode of Matchday Minds. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other platform, please make sure you give us 5-star rating or equivalent. And on today's panel, you can see, but for audio listeners, it's just me. Kieran cannot make this episode, and I can get a guest. So I thought I'll run it solo and we'll try something. I thought me being a United fan, as you can see by the background. It's been a tough 18 months or so, so I thought, let's see if I can run the club. Yes, I've done it on FIFA. Yes, I've done it on Football Manager. But if we put those things into real life, what would happen? If I had full control over Manchester United for 12 months, just 1 year, owner backing, one full window, two players are gone immediately. They might shock you. Now, unfortunately, this is not about popularity, it's about control. Manchester United needs to change this. Now, you may agree, you may disagree, but things that United have done in the past has gone for superstars. Yes, that has gone down a little bit more now, but it seems like these things are kind of creeping up. There are stat-driven transfers that the club needs to make, and also there are popularity ones that also need to make, like you need the shirt sales, etc., etc. Now, Manchester United do not lack talent. No, not at all. They are a very talented bunch of pit players, but the only thing they are missing is structure. Since Carrick's joined, there's a little bit more structure come in, but I would still say there isn't a lot. Now, it's unfair on him because he's not permanent, so it's kind of contradicting myself. He could be the man, but this is about me taking control of United. Now, even with Carrick in charge, it does feel like the games are stretched, transitional, and high emotions. There's no consistent identity. There hasn't been with the club for a while. I'm here to implement that. Now I need to make United structurally sound again. Identity, purpose, not just built on vibes, not just built on moments, and no purple patch. They need to be consistent. And to do that, I need to be ruthless. No pity, no sob stories, no emotional attachments. It's just pure what's good for the club, really. And the way to kickstart this would be outgoings. Now, this may be unpopular, but my number one sale in the summer would be Mateus Delict. No, don't lose your heads here. Don't lose your heads. It's not about talent. He is quality, but the number one thing, availability is the best ability. Now that's not entirely true, but this guy just go missing. Okay, you see it. You see it this season. He got injured and he's just disappeared. Now, if you want to be a serious club, if this is consistently going, I mean, I think he had been out before, even in his previous clubs as well. It's just a consistent thing that he's just disappearing with injuries. Now, in a back four, especially in a two centre back partnership, chemistry matters, partnership matters, rhythms matter. Now, if one player goes down and you keep chopping and changing your centre backs, you're not going to build consistency with your defence. Look at Arsenal. Their two centre backs have been consistently together, even though they've changed their fullbacks here and there. But the goalkeeper and two centre backs have been solid regardless. You cannot build a title contending defence with what ifs and when fit. Uh, City did it consistently, and you saw how they've gone downhill now with John Stones coming in and out of the team, Ruben Diaz, etc. Um, and Arsenal are looking likely for it because of this. They need to play 40 to 50 games together, and United need durability. If his resale value is still strong, which it should be in theory, um, I would just take the cash and go. There are plenty of defenders at United with Euro and Heaven coming up, so the sale of Delict is kind of one that would make sense now that the club is not going to be playing at back five. Now the second sale, which is a pretty obvious one. Speaking of defence, which has been United's main issue in recent years, is Diogo Dalot. Now, he is a good player on his day, but the issue is it's not consistent. The most consistent Diogo Dalot we had was, in my opinion, under Ten Hag. He was attacking, defending very well, but since then, he's just gone downhill. You saw Wan-Bissaka, he was a very, very good defender, but when you relied on him attackingly, just wasn't there. I feel like Dalot is going this route as well. So he may be unpopular with other fan bases, especially United as well. But I feel like we should just get rid of him. Now, not every single player will be 10 out of 10 when you win the title. You will have one or two players that you just don't think are that elite level. But if Dalot is your starting right back for a Premier League winning team, something is off. Standards need to be higher. Now for the rebuild. My number one signing would be Elliot Anderson. You can look at all the stats. Yes, he may not be top. Wharton could be the stat-driven one there, but Elliot Anderson on the eye test, which is one of the main key features, is number one. The Casemiro replacement, in my opinion, needs to be this guy. The main issue when Amorim was in charge was the chaotic midfield. There was no consistency, and we needed the glue. Casemiro was relied on to do all this running, and he just couldn't. Now, changing back to Carrick's philosophy of two midfield, it's working. United are only playing one game a week because they're out on all competitions. Now, if Carrick does get the top four in the Champions League, there will be four competitions to play in next season. Now, if you're relying on Casemiro to still perform at those levels, he just won't be able to. You need someone younger with legs and a very similar playstyle or abilities. Ellie Anderson's the guy. He gives you ball carrying, the energy, the pressing, the aggression, and the phase connection. Ball carrying, perfect for this midfield. I feel like him and Kobe can work perfectly in a midfield with Bruno ahead of them. Gaps close, transitions shrink. It won't be basketball games anymore, which I feel like is going on a little bit currently. Yes, United can be based as a counter-attacking team, but I want to move on from this. Control games. Games are it's very basic. Games are won in the midfield, give or take. Now another signing that I want to go for is the left wing. Now, Cunha is a good player, but I feel like he's not a winger per se. Now, the winger that I would want would be a Rashford style player. I want a winger who can attack the space relentlessly, gets high shot volume, can finish, and doesn't disappear for 45 minutes in a game. Garnacho was supposed to be that guy, but he just went downhill tremendously and he stinks. The right side is taken care of with Ahmad and Buemo. And we need to replicate that on the left. Who could that be? Now, this might not be a popular opinion because he's not in the headlines anymore. He is at PSG, the Georgian winger, Kvaratskhelia. I do feel like he is the profile that I think United can take at left wing. And I think it can work. Now, one thing that Manchester United has relied on and stuck with since wartime is the youth. Youth Academy is a major, major asset to this club. Now, I feel like we need to broaden the horizons. Sometimes not always look in the transfer market because we've got players at home. Now, the one player that I need implemented in the first team is Shea Lacey. He played a couple games for United already, but in the under 21s, under 18s, etc., he has been the outstanding player. He looks like the real deal. Now, this doesn't mean I'm putting loads of pressure on the guy. He shouldn't start every single game, but he needs real rotational minutes. Not hype minutes, but real opportunities to showcase his talents. Fearless, he wants the balls, he's take risks, and he has personality. You can see in the Brighton game, he was slapping balls from like 30 yards out. He's got real hunger inside of him and wants to prove himself. Now, under Alex Ferguson, youth wasn't sentimental. He didn't do it again for the vibes, for the soppy stories, etc. It was competitive because he knew that the talent is there. You don't always have to go out and sign the player. Now, Shea Lacey can get cup starts. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, even some European nights if you need to. The late cameos off the bench against tired legs would be perfect. And even if he needs to, right wing rotation. If Mbeumo goes on to the left or up front, or Amma goes on the left or up front, perfect rotational player. Now, the tactics. This is a really hard one because you don't know how football's going. but I do feel like the 4-2-3-1 is kind of a little bit outdated. It's only a shock to the Premier League now. It's because people are so used to playing high possession against low blocks. Now, if we're going to do similar start to this, you kind of need a 4-3-3. You could play the Bruno as a 10, Elliot Anderson as the 8, and Kobbie Mainoo as a 6, and they can all push as a unit. It makes it direct. You can attack with the wingers, and then the striker can play on the shoulder. I'm not a tactico. These are just things that I feel like can work with this squad. But that's in possession. Now, out of possession is a whole different ball game. You kind of really want to be compact, and you need clear pressing triggers, which is where the wingers come in. Now, Kavicha and Mbeumo and/or Ahmad can be these key guys, especially if you play Mbeumo through the middle, which I feel like can help in certain scenarios. Those three pressing will be ideal. And then when you play Bruno as the higher 10, that also helps. Now, what am I expected to do in 12 months? So the transfer's done. Tactics set up. What would you expect for me to be in charge? Top 3 push? Yes. Title challenges? Yes. A serious cup run? The Carabao and FA Cup finals should be a bare minimum. And we need to ensure the tactical identity is clear. Now, once I've implemented all this, and after the 12 months, if United still look stretched, emotional, running off vibes and purple patches, then I've failed. Because Manchester United doesn't need a revolution. They need small, minor tweaks, structural maturity. Few outs, couple ins, and I feel like United can be back again. If you like today's content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you think we should do this on any other team, let us know down below as well. Make sure you follow us on all social medias, as you can see above me here. And we'll see you on the next episode. Ciao.